Josef Hammer and Jochen Brettschneider will give you valuable insights on how to increase the productivity of your machine tools with advanced CNC technology functions. And Wolfgang Reichert will illustrate the application directly on the real controller using practical examples. Josef.
Thank you, Judith. How to increase the productivity of your machine tool is the topic for the next 30 minutes. And I would like to start with a question. What do this topic have in common with myself? It's about birthdays. I'm just as old as the Siemens history about increasing the productivity of machine tools. Born both 60 years ago, myself as a human being, and the first Siemens NC in relay technology as a simple path and point controller. From that time on, innovation was the driver to expand the application area of machine tools and to increase continuously the flexibility and productivity. After 60 years of field experiences, we are now here. Myself as hopefully a mature person, and Numeric One, the latest and at the same time most far-reaching innovation for the last 15 years. In the previous expert session, you have already heard about the benefits of the digital twin of Numeric One for your work preparation. This expert session here is about CNC technology functions to increase the productivity for your machine tool. So, Jochen, you have been working for a long time and intensively with the operating of machine tools. What are the trends there when it comes to the efficient interaction between man and machine?
Yeah, here the innovations of mobile communications are being used in the machine tool, especially in the job shop area. Touch and gesture control greatly simplify handling and pick up the machine operator in a natural way. With the Numeric Operate and its extensions Shop Mill and Shop Turn, we have already enabled a very intuitive and graphically animated operation. With the Numeric One, we are consequently following this path and offer innovations to further increase efficiency of the operator. The entire user interface has a new look and feel to access machine information even more easily and quickly. In addition to classic machine operation, remote content such as PDF files or camera and browser content can be integrated. And with the side screen and display manager add-ons, the operator can customize the content for his particular task. The up to 24-inch Numeric Blackline Plus panel offers exactly the space needed for such additional content. Let's ask Wolfgang if he can give us a few examples to show the benefits of Numeric Operate operation, which has been trimmed for efficiency.
Thank you. Sure, the first thing you notice about the new design and look and feel is the new color scheme and the clear display of the soft keys. Especially in our cycle support mask, like the swivel cycle, you will see a big difference. You are guided via colors if there is any error in the mask. Also in the simultaneous recording mask, you will see an optimized color scheme and functionality. In the additional side screen widgets, you will see more information like the actual value, the 0 point, or the tool, including the program runtime and the tool life. The optional display manager will show you some information like a PDF viewer, where you can select for documentation some different PDFs. The camera integration is to improve the machining process and to view what is going on in the machine. The browser can be connected directly via internet.
Depending on the machine type, machine tools can be also very large, and sometimes the machine operator has to be mobile in the machine, for example, when setting up new workpieces. For this task, we now offer the new Numeric handheld terminal HT10. The ergonomically designed HT10 is easy to hold and can be operated via multi-touch. The advantages of the Numeric Operate and the Display Manager also can be used with HT10. For safety reasons, the HT10 is wired. However, it can be disconnected and reconnected at any time during machining of the machine. Therefore, its use is not limited to one machine only, and the HT10 can be used wherever it is needed. For example, for programming or operating robots. Wolfgang now will demonstrate how to use the HT10.
The new design of the Numeric Operate also helps for the HT10. Functionalities like, for example, menu selection like automatic or jog could be done directly via the Numeric Operate multitouch. Additional functions like axis selection could also be done with the new function the Numeric Operate on HT10. The increments and the hand wheel selection will be done on an additional soft key on the jog. The classic soft keys like axis, plus minus, or cycle start, cycle stop, or reset, or the override and hand wheel is still on the classical hard keys.
Very good, Wolfgang. Let's now move on to the run-in of new part programs. Each setter knows today's complex procedure. The new CNC program is executed in single block mode. Before each NC start, the feed override must be reduced to 0. With NC start, the override is then slowly increased to control the machine axis movements. All this must be done by a setter to prevent crash and damage to the tool and to the machine due to programming errors in the CNC program. With the new Numeric PowerRide, we offer an ergonomic override rotary switch with integrated NC start button. Haptic and optical feedback improve perception and the sense of safety for the setter. The process also changes by digitally coupling the PowerRide with the CNC via the function configured stop. Individual stop conditions can be specified by the user. This means that the CNC does not have to stop after each individual block, but only when the stop condition is met, for example, before a G0 block. This increases efficiency during setting up and reduces the risk of an unwanted crash. By the way, the PowerRide is a component of the new modular control panels for Numeric One. The flush-mounted laser-marked keypads and the high-quality metal front with protection glass IP65 makes your machine look good even when operating in rough production environments. The integrated illumination LEDs ensure clarity and enable customer-specific color concepts in operation. In the graphic, you can see an example layout with 2 PowerRides. The integrated keyboards makes external keyboards unnecessary. Wolfgang, could you please demonstrate the advantages of the for the PowerRide for a typical run-in process?
For sure. For showing the efficiency of the new PowerRide with the new function, I choose a 5-axis part program. When I execute this part program, I have the possibility, in combination with the new PowerRide, to adapt via the function configured stop under program influence, where I can decide when the machine stops and starts. The configured stop situation could be defined via transition G0, G1, G0, G0, and G1 and T0. And on top of it, also with additional functions like M functions or subprograms. How does this work in reality? You will see the message configured stop. It gives you the hint where it starts and stops. To start the cycle start and to increase the productivity and to go on, you just press in the middle and then you can continue. If you're finished with the setup, you can start, for example, deactivate the CST function and continue as it was before. The haptic feedback always gives you a very good impression about the actual situation.
Everybody knows the so-called non-productive or waiting times, where no machining takes place, but which have a remarkable effect on productivity. For example, setting up the machine tool for a new machining operation is such an unwanted waiting time. The basic aim is to reduce the setup time to 0. One target is to ensure the availability of the necessary tools in advance. With the technology function Identify Tool Demand, all required tools are recorded and saved in a file during the execution or simulation of part programs. If the part programs is used on the machine a second time, the Numeric operator can check whether all required tools are available. The machine operator gets a list with the tool comparison and clearly information which tools are already loaded and which tools are missing and have to be loaded for machining. If production is rescheduled to another machine, the tool list will move together with the part program to the new machine. So, missing tools also there can be quickly created and loaded based on the data and information in the list. In short, the user benefits from a quick and easy check before the program is started that all tools are loaded. This reliably prevents an unwanted stop in the middle of machining due to missing tools. Wolfgang, can you give an example on how to use the Identify Tool Demand?
For sure. Let's see how it works on the controller. If you already have the tool demand list called TTD file, and you open it, it will show you the tools needed for this part program. With the additional function check load, we are able to see all tools needed or have to be loaded, like here, and all unneeded tools. With this function, we are able to load directly in our standard tool management list. As a possibility, we can use this function in either simulation mode, where we can adapt it under settings, write tools in simulation, or when you execute a part program directly on the execution called settings, where we write this tool to a file.
Thank you, Wolfgang, for this impressive insight on the new CNC functionality Identify Tool Demand, which will bring a significant benefit to our machine operators in the workflow.
So, the machine operator has now set up the machine tool in a record-breaking time, and the production and thus the value creation can begin. The productivity of a machine tool depends directly on its output. That means high quality in the shortest possible time. In physical terms, it's all about intelligent controller technology with high speed. Studies and experiences with our customers have shown that with Numeric One, productivity increases of up to 25% can be achieved. This is certainly partly due to the high hardware performance, but above all because of intelligent CNC technology functions. So, Jochen, what innovations can Numeric One offer here?
Oh, there are some innovations. At this point, I would like to highlight Numeric One Dynamics, the completely new packages for top-class motion control and perfect workpiece surfaces, exclusively available for Numeric One. Your advantage as a machine user: every machine with Numeric One Dynamics option already has the turbo for highest dynamics, precision and productivity on board. And you do not longer have to worry about suboptimal machine utilization. The Numeric One Dynamics packages are available for both 3-axis and 5-axis milling machines. So, ask the manufacturer of your machine about these operations or these options for Numeric One. In the following, I will talk about some functions from these packages. For example, 3- and 5-axis simultaneous machining, such as the machining of freeform surfaces, need a high surface quality. The CNC programs for these are generated via a CAD cam chain and consist of huge point clouds. Experience has shown that it makes sense to check the quality of the geometric data on the controller with an intelligent algorithm and to clean up the data in a sense of homogeneous, means shiny, workpiece surface. For this purpose, we offer the CNC technology function top surface. The top surface clears up with any geometric obstacle on the path and smoothes with a specified tolerance. So the racetrack is prepared. Now the new challenge. On this track, the racer has to get the shortest lap times without drifting off the ideal course and slippery. In the CNC controller, this is the task of the motion controller, which must not excite the natural frequency of the machine axis involved. And this is exactly what a new CNC technology function top speed does. This allows the machining time to be reduced further, as the milling cutter follows the curvature of the workpiece with little braking before the curve and maximum acceleration at the exit of the curve. Top speed changes the state of the art in machining massively. By means of novel filter technology, top speed ensures that the increased dynamics are made possible that do not lead to vibration of the machine mechanics involved. This shift in physical limits is astonishing even for the expert, and the result is impressive. Dependent on the specific application, machining times can be reduced to up to 30%. This is productivity increase in its purest form. Wolfgang, what must a machine operator or a CNC programmer of the machine has to do in order to get the benefits of top speed?
Thank you. Sometimes for an operator it's very simple. To show how it works in reality, I just use a mold and die part program and open it. Before cutting, we have to insert under various and high-speed settings our cycle 832. This is our cycle to transport all necessary functions to get the function top surface and top speed. We have 3 parameters. We can adjust 3 parameters. We can do some technology machining, roughing, semi-finishing, finishing, or precision. And if the operator has no idea about the contour tolerance, we guide him with some default values. The last parameter is the so-called orientation tolerance if we have some multi-axis or 5-axis part programs. That's all he has to do to get these functions, top surface and top speed. And then execute and run the part program.
Mm-hmm. Sounds easy, Wolfgang. Let's come to the next topic. Today, machine tools are optimized in such a way that maximum dynamics and control quality are reached without causing an overshoot of the machine axis. This is the only way to ensure machining quality on the workpiece. And this equation not only includes the moving masses of the machine itself, but also the moving masses of the workpiece with fixtures and the inertial masses of the tool. Until now, optimization has always had to be based on a worst-case scenario, means the maximum allowed workpiece weight. The maximum achievable dynamics is bound to this point of use and so far resulted in a loss of productivity if the workpiece or tool mass is below maximum. In order to achieve optimum conditions, the machine dynamics must be, of course, adapted to the current workpiece mass. This is exactly what the Numeric 1 technology function Intelligent Load Control, in short ILC, does. The ILC measures the initial mass of the workpiece and adapts the dynamic and the control parameters of the axis involved on the basis of predefined adaptation curves. This ensures you to achieve shorter machining times with higher accuracy for workpieces below the maximum load. Wolfgang now shows an example how to use the ILC.
In this case, I used to show the best benefit of ILC, a 5-axis part program. The part program is a 5-axis simultaneous part program, where we already activated our high-speed setting cycles. And before real cutting, I have a new function called ILC under various adjust to load, cycle 782. With this cycle support screen mask, I have the possibility to adjust the load on any axis defined by the machine tool builder. It could be some linear axis, rotary axis, spindles, whatever the machine tool builder defined. For the operator, we have the so-called axis dynamic adaptation. We have the tool load to determine or to define directly. And last but not least, we have the possibility to show the measured result on the screen. The cycle 782 will be started and I execute the part program, and then just before the real cutting, we will get the result about the measured result. Good. That's all for the moment.
Let's move on. In single part production or even in small batch production, we have frequent changeover processes of the workpiece from one machine to the next machine. The user naturally wants to reduce the number of changeover processes. First of all, this costs valuable time, and second, can reduce the achievable machining accuracy of the workpiece. The technology function, interpolation turning of Numeric 1 supports the user here with a new machining method. The turning process takes place without a rotating workpiece. This also eliminates the time-consuming alignment of non-rotationally symmetric workpieces. In interpolation turning, the turning tool is guided by the CNC around the static workpiece in a position-controlled manner. The feed axis interpolates circularly, while at the same time the turning tool is moved in direction of the tool. Interpolation turning is not only applicable for simple machining centers without rotary table, but also for off-center turning operations if a rotary table is available, or on lathes with B-axis. On these machines, interpolation turning is supported with the proven Numeric operate turning cycles. Wolfgang, how does the interpolation turning look like for the machine operator?
Thank you. In this case, interpolation turning function is available in shop mill programming and program guide, G-code. In this case, we make a new part program in shop mill and have the possibility to program this function on an inclined plane or on the table 3 axis and start to program. The new function, if it's enabled, you will find under interpolation turning, where you will find all necessary cycles, what you already know from turning. It's the same cycles, additional with activating the transformation for interpolated turning. That's all you get. Additional function for the setup of the machine is when you have this interpolation turning, you will get in a milling machine also turning tools available for using this function. Mm-hmm. This is necessary to get this good result in a very, very short time.
Thank you, Wolfgang, for this insight on interpolation turning. I believe interpolation turning will be loved by our machine operators.
Thank you. I would like to come to the typical job shopper. If this job shopper gets an order from his customer, the question arises, how does he turn this order into a CNC program as fast and efficiently as possible? A possibility which is available for a while is the DXF reader option if the description, the workpiece description is available as a DXF file. In that case, the machining elements can be extracted only in 2 dimensions. So what if the machine or the workpiece description is available as a 3D file? Do we have their solution to convert such 3D files directly into a CNC program, and that directly at the machine tool?
Yes, we have. In fact, there is an excellent solution for the job shop. This CNC technology function is called Optimize My Programming 3D Scanner. With this solution, he can import exactly the 3-dimensional CAD data of his workpiece into Numeric Operate. Here, a feature-based analysis of the CAD data of the workpiece is performed. Typical machining elements such as pockets, pins, slots or bores are recognized and automatically linked to the Numeric operate machining cycles. The geometry data also automatically is transferred to the machining cycles. The machine operator only has to manually add the tool data, the cutting data, and of course process-specific instruction. This massive system support not only reduces the programming time, but also the programming errors in the long term. We are proud to redefine shop floor programming with this solution. Wolfgang, also for this you have prepared an example that massively shows the benefit for the machine operator.
Yes, these possibilities to directly access 3D CAD data in STEP or PRT format with the Numeric Operate open up completely new possibilities. Showing on a 3+2 axis part program in ShopMill how it works. I generate a new part program, in this case also in ShopMill, but it's also possible in program by G-code, and define the program header and the workpiece. With this new function called import from CAD, we are able to read PRT files or native PRT files from NX or so-called step files. If I open this part program, the controller interprets all the features recognized on this part CAD file. With this feature, we are able to program at least so fast as on the CAD/CAM system. If you want to define a new workpiece 0 on a different plane or program on a different level, like when using our swivel cycle or swivel plane cycle 800, or using some rectangular pockets or some free contours. Everything is possible.
Thank you, Wolfgang, for this insight in Optimize My Programming 3D Scanner, the new way of programming in the shop floor.
Dear audience, with Numeric 1 and Numeric 1 Dynamics, you get the most out of your machine, and this in all phases, during the operating and during the programming with Numeric Operate and Optimize My Programming 3D Scanner, and especially during the setup and the machining with top speed, with top surface, with interpolation turning, and so on. So for further information, please contact your machine builder or your Siemens sales representative. We, that's Jochen, Wolfgang, and myself, would like to thank you very much for your participation in our expert session.
Thanks a lot to all our experts.